And hello and welcome to another Blackout.com Blackouts box video. I'm trying to do these live. I'm trying to do live streams to not have to go in and edit everything and have an honest reaction as I go through things, but I don't know if it's working. I can't see the chat. Let me see. So we're going to discuss, does Disney fudge or mess with Rotten Tomato scores and other things? Now, a lot of people will say, well, you can't trust Rotten Tomatoes. You can't go to Rotten Tomatoes for anything. They've lost a lot of credibility in the last year or two. However, that's only in people who know, people who really monitor movies and critics and are in the circle of reviews and who are making commentary videos. For most people, they go to see a movie, they Google a review, Rotten Tomatoes is the first thing that pops up, they look at the score, and that's it. Now, lately, there's been, the critics, a lot of people can't believe the mismatch between the critical score. Let me move this a little bit. The critical score, which is people who are invited to the premiere, or critics, they're registered on the site as critics. They supposedly write for a living or a partial living or get paid partially. And between the audience score. Now, The Last Jedi had this ridiculous audience score, critic score of like 90. It started like 98%, and I think it's sitting at the 91%. And it was trash. In my opinion. If you liked it, you liked it. But I don't know. This whole sequel trilogy to me is trash. I don't know anybody who liked it. The Force Awakens, several people liked in the beginning because it was Star Wars again. And again, it could have been George Lucas taking a poop in 3D for 2 hours, and the poop is shaped like a lightsaber, and people would have been excited because they just wanted more Star Wars. Where Disney made a big mistake is they said, hey, let's not just make more Star Wars. They said, let's actually, the 6-part sequel, and the prequels didn't do that good either. They did okay money-wise, but people were not happy at the time. There's 1,000 videos ranking on them. But now the sequels are so bad that people are like, oh, at least the prequels had some story, at least as boring as they were. Phantom Menace is boring. Phantom Menace will put you to sleep. Watch the Red Letter Media review on Phantom Menace, which is one of the epic pieces of all time. Before I go on, let me ask you if you like any of this comment. If you like anything I'm doing, to please hit the subscribe button. I can't speak. I'm looking at this and I can't speak. I've reached the 4,000 hours that you need. They demonetized me. They demonetized the channel. I just kind of gave up on YouTube. I'm trying to make a comeback. There is no try. There is do or do not. I'm making a comeback on YouTube. I also have a podcast out. Oh, Jesus, I'm getting messages now. But I don't know if the chat's working. Hit the subscribe button. I only need a few hundred more subscribers to hit that 1,000 mark, and so that I'm monetized again. And I can really put a lot of effort into putting out new videos. This is one of the reasons I'm trying to do live streams. Let me see if I can see it. Hold on a second. See if I can see. If we're on, and see if I can see my own give me a second here. I'm at youtube.com/blackoutsbox, but for some reason it's not putting a chat out. It's streaming it, but it's not putting a chat. Okay, so did Disney mess with Rise of Skywalker, Rotten Tomatoes scores, fake account, and damage control? So it says it's live. There's no thumbnail, which is weird. This was fake account and damage control. Oh, let me stop that. And there's a chat there. Let's see, test. Hello? That's weird. There's a chat there, but in this the streaming service I'm using, it's not working. I'll have to fuddle with that. Can I pop this out? Top chat, pop out. How do I pop it out? Come on, I know I did it before. Pop it out. Pop it out. There we go. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Give me 1 second here to figure this out. And the streaming service I'm using is saying chat's disabled. Okay. So, my last video talked about cats and how cats did so poorly. They have re-uploaded the film to cinemas. That is a mind fuck. That's mind-boggling. That can destroy film movies as we know it. Maybe movies will no longer be a thing that is like written like a play, performed, or a film put out. Maybe now people who go to the first screenings will be considered guinea pigs, and if it gets bad reviews, they'll upload a new version. See my last video for that. I'll put a cardy thing or a link or something here somewhere to it. It's a mess. Movies are in a strange time right now. Movies are in a strange time. They're sucking badly. I think Rise of Skywalker is a total piece of garbage. It looks pretty, but they're trying to do what they should have like started at the beginning. They had no plan, and they're trying to give character to Rey. Rey was this boring Mary Sue, overpowered, over the top, characterless. I can do everything. Character. Poe was just was supposed to be a replacement for Han Solo, but he never really had the charisma or did anything. Nothing against these actors or actresses. They all did great, but this trilogy sequel was so not planned out and so fucked from the get-go. Everyone went to Force Awakens because they were just happy. It was just like, oh my god, anything more Star Wars. And they went. And then The Last Jedi came out. The Last Jedi, which sounded really cool. And you're like, oh my god, but the moment Luke throws that lightsaber over his shoulder is the moment that you knew this whole thing was fucked, not planned. Oh, here's the entire 4.5 billion Star Wars trilogy. Rian Johnson, you made Looper and you made one other thing. Go ahead, just fuck it. Just take a dildo and just ram it in the butt. Do whatever you want. He, again, good director. I liked Looper, but should he have been handed Star Wars with no plans? But then again, I didn't like Force Awakens either. But I'm babbling. Let us go into the question of, is the audience score real or damage control? People still think Rotten Tomatoes is what matters. Your average person doesn't know about Metacritic, and they don't look up IMDb scores. Maybe they'll look up an actor here and there. So I just cannot believe that this has an 86, because every person I've talked to, and I'm not in some bubble of Star Wars hatred. I don't hate it. I think it's just ruined. It's dumb. It's a bad movie. And bringing Palpatine back is just and retconning. And for those of you who don't know, a lot of people say retconning and MacGuffin, and no one knows what it means. MacGuffin just means plot device that really doesn't mean anything, and it's just like, well, we need to move the movie forward, so here's a MacGuffin, like a Egg McMuffin. You're hungry. You need to get the Egg McMuffin at this McDonald's over there in order to get a coupon that will give you a Big Mac for dinner over here in order to get a cook. It means you just kind of moving, and there's you're not moving because of character development, because of a real problem, because of a real thing you need to solve. You're just going forward because this ticket says, okay, this, and the MacGuffin's in Rise of Skywalker. It's just you get the dagger, which leads to the Wayfinder, which leads no, the dagger, which leads to the, you got to reprogram C-3PO, which leads to the Wayfinder. Look at my last videos. I'm not going to go over all this again. You can search, you can go on my channel and search my last videos, or you can just type Rise of Skywalker, worst Star Wars film ever. You'll probably find a billion videos on that. All the reviews that I see, even the top reviewers, do not like this film. And not just reviewers, like casual reviewers, people on YouTube, people putting their word out. No one I've talked to likes it. So 86%, I don't believe it. So we click on this 86%, and we get Nick J, super reviewer. J.J. Abrams solidified himself as a fantastic choice for Star Wars with Force Awakens. Didn't even write the. So this is not even grammatically correct, and this is the top. This is what you're going to see out of all reviews. Oh, this is critic reviews. The critics hated it. Should I read any of these? You could. All right, critic reviews. You sense in this film J.J. Abrams shrinking that world. Everything in this franchise feels like a take-back. Yeah, because they didn't know what to do. I don't think anyone could have made a good ending film. But to call it the Rise of Skywalker is just a pure insult. When we meet up with the brash pilot Poe, oh, he's brash. He's light speed skipping his way out of trouble, and Abrams is much the same mode, whisking you from one thing to the next before you have much time to think or feel anything in response. That's true. You won't even remember that. You'll go there and go, oh, wow, I thought it was good. And then people will ask you, what did you think was good? And you might be able to remember one or two things, but like a lot of it is just just like stuff and scenery, and there's not really any, just not any meat. I mean, if you want the story in a nutshell, oh my God, Palpatine's back. No, he's not. He's dead again. But it's Rey instead of Luke or Anakin or Darth Vader. That's it. That's the fucking movie. But drag that out for 2 hours and 15 minutes, whatever it is, because the credits are another 10 to 15 minutes. It just, no, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. The characters are too cardboard. Let's keep reading. The hermetic logic of the plot is impeccable as it is ridiculous. It's a drama crafted with robotic insularity for the consumption of viewers, being rendered robotic at each moment of the soullessly uniform spectacle. Oh God. The way he wrote that sounds exactly like the movie. It is. It's soulless. It's just dead. Unless you're like a real like you like Kylo and Rey, and you just want to see them kiss at the end, you'll be happy with this film. Otherwise, if you're any sort of Star Wars fan who knows rules and consequences, and that you can't die 50 times and come back from death, there's no consequences in this movie. There's no rules. There's no anything. Chaotic and consistently paced. This big dose of fan service gets a few things deliciously right and a lot disappointingly wrong. Lightning may never strike twice, but forced lightning seems to only know one tired story. We've seen this all before. It is true. Rey wins this movie by doing this. And she wins. The Emperor's doing this, who should be dead already. He was thrown down a fiery pit in the Death Star. on fire, burning, stricken back by lightning by Darth Vader, burning, thrown down a pit. He's like 1 billion years old, and then the Death Star explodes. But he's still here. Stupid. You're seeing your favorite band in concert. They take the stage and play all the hits, but only the hits. That's what the Rise of Skywalker is, and it's designed to give the fans what they want and nothing else at all. It's true, but in doing that, it kind of insults the fans because the fans wanted. I think what the fans wanted from the beginning. I've said this. Go check out my other videos. The fans just wanted. Should have started out with Luke in the first movie, not the end for 1 second pulling his head off. Harrison Ford was annoying in the first movie. He obviously didn't want to be in it. He should have had Luke, Leia, Han, everybody in the first movie, and the tricklings of the beginnings of training these new characters and building them up an actual structure and plot. And there should have been a plan for all 3 movies. There was none. This is why it's a clusterfuck. But I'm getting off topic. The critics didn't like it, and then anyone I've talked to didn't like it. But yet, it still has an 86% audience score. So if we click on that, no, I don't want to go there. Oh yeah, I do. The top, for some reason, this audience critic, Nick J, super reviewer. Now you would think super reviewer meant that you've put in tons and tons of reviews. You've been on Rotten Tomatoes writing, and other people have given you a thumbs up, and kind of like how Amazon works, where if you write a good review, put up a video or something like that, and you get a lot of feedback, you become a trusted reviewer. You'd think that's what would be up here, right? But if we look at this Nick J, who gives it 5 stars and says, J.J. Abrams solidified himself as a fantastic choice for Star Wars The Force Awakens. With Rise of Skywalker, he completely knocks it out of the park. Spectacular, jaw-dropping, pulse-pounding, tear-jerking. Rise of Skywalker is everything about Star Wars I love. Now you think, super reviewer. He must have done hundreds of reviews. Reviewers must have reviewed him, right? Let's see. Nick, he doesn't even have a picture. Super reviewer about no user info applied. Rating history. So he's only reviewed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movies ever, and somehow this is the top review when you click on audience. Tell me how that's not manipulation. Something's funky. Oh, and by the way, the person who runs Rotten Tomatoes was a former Disney VP. And everything's 5. I don't think a super reviewer would give everything 5. He gave Hellboy 2019 5, and then before that he didn't review any movies for 5 years. Captain America Winter Soldier 5. Godzilla 2014 5. X-Men Days of Future Past 5. And that's his history. He's super reviewer, just not like prime reviewer or good reviewer. Super reviewer. No picture, no profile. Something smells stinky to me. And then there's this whole thing that you have to verify that you bought a ticket on Fandango, or it doesn't count towards this audience score. And their numbers don't even match up for them. So it says verified reviews equal a 4.31. I just don't believe it. I don't believe that. And then it says total count 31,867. But if we close it, it says verified ratings 31. Okay, no, now it matches. It didn't match before. But all audience, which is more than double that, 77%. But if we go and we look at these things, there's so many reviews that are verified. I forgot how to. I forgot how to look at that. How do I actually read the reviews? I keep getting the super reviewer. Damn it! Okay, here we go. Let's go to all audience. There's so many of these reviews. No, let's go to verified. Let's go to verified. And then we'll go to all audience. Oh, AJ, hey, what's up? Chat is there. Let me move this around. Movie was Bantha fodder. AJ, so you're the only one seeing it. I don't understand. Is notifications going out? I don't get it. Oh, AJ's an old school person from this channel, which I let die. Where was I? Where was I? Where was I? Where was I? So verified. How do I freaking read them? I just did this. And look at the seats, by the way. Let's just go to a 10 o'clock screen and say 2 adults. First weekend, mind you. All empty, mostly empty. The blue is empty. And this is a small theater. The big theater is even worse than that. Select a new showtime. December 22nd. 8:30 p.m. Just do one adult. And that one's actually kind of full. But this is a very small theater. There's like 50 seats. I'm trying to find the big theater. Oh, man. Now, how do I read the damn audience score? I forgot. That's how I read that. Oh, there we go. Wait. All credits? Critics, guest, audience. All audience verified. There we go. Now, if you went and spent the time to get your ticket on Fandango, and verify. You spent the time to get your ticket on Fandango, which is the only site that you can verify with Rotten Tomatoes. Hold on, chat coming in. Once the Emperor can rise again, and so can this channel. Let's go, people, subscribe and click the notification bell. Yes, please do subscribe and click the notification bell. Resurrect. I don't know if I want to be compared to the Emperor, but I'll take it. So if you went, like, and if you really love this movie, if you give it 5 stars and you really loved it, and you wanted to let people know, and you spent the time to get your ticket on your phone with Fandango, get your verified number, log on to Rotten Tomatoes, enter your verified number, write a review, would you write one line with your 5 stars? Wouldn't you write like how great it was in detail? At least a paragraph? But yet we get ones like this, and none of them have any pictures or profile. Michelle. Loved it. Cameos, plot twists, surprises, action-packed. Visually amazing, better story and dialogue than Last Jedi. It should have been split into 2 movies, and I felt a bit rushed, but a sad but okay conclusion. I'll believe that's maybe real. This one brought out feelings of excitement, humor, and emotions. What a ride! That's fucking fake. No one writes that shit. No real people write that. That's like headline stuff for articles on websites. What a ride! What a thrilling, spectacular ride! What an amazing adventure! 3 stars. It was good, but not as good as I thought it would be. Kind of predictable. I believe that. I was pleasantly surprised with this movie after disliking Last Jedi. It rounds off the Skywalker saga nicely. I don't know. Surpassed my expectations. Well done. Lots of Easter eggs. Don't buy that. Like anyone that's 5 stars, it seems to be one line. Let's go a little deeper and see if we find something. Oh, here we go. Half a star. The movie jumped all over the place and felt like the ending to a completely different franchise. Don't let JJ do any more reboots ever. And that's how I think you can tell it's a real person, because just type Rise of Skywalker review into Google, into your search engine, into YouTube, and 90% of them will say this movie is shit, it's garbage, except for Star Wars Theory and maybe 2 other channels. And you have a right, if you liked it, if you're not that deep and you don't know the Star Wars story and you don't feel insulted by this, and not that a movie should insult you, but you just don't want to support garbage, because if you support garbage, they keep making more garbage and more garbage and more garbage. You're giving money to the garbage so they can make more garbage. The movie jumped all over the place and felt like the ending to a completely different franchise. Don't let JJ. But then we get this next one. Oh my God. Nothing compares. This is a must for every Star Wars fan. Nothing compares to The Rise of Skywalker. Seriously? Are you serious? A movie that is the end of a sequel that had no planning from the beginning, with a bunch of characters that not many people like, who didn't spend that much time together, where the original characters really didn't befriend them and were killed off or didn't like them or wanted them away from them, and where the movies you cannot watch The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker and see a story, because there is none there. It's a fuck. It's like it's just like throwing random shit around the room. There's no story there. It is not a trilogy. It's individual movies that they slap trilogy numbers on. Good final conclusion from Jay. He's verified. Was exciting. Love and crying involved. Was great movie. Why do I feel this was like set out to some, you know what, if you want to buy Instagram followers or YouTube reviews or Instagram comments, all these services, you can buy them from Russia or Indonesia or wherever the hell they come from. And this is what this sounds like. Good final conclusion. That's what you would do with your ticket that you verified and came on and bought on Fandango and came on here and gave 5 stars. Good final conclusion. Bullshit. You're going to have dates for the next 3 Star Wars movies. December 20, 22, 24, 26. I don't know. Star Wars is done for me. And everyone's making a big deal over the Mandalorian Baby Yoda. It's okay, but it's like, Mandalorian is just John Wick in Star Wars. I don't think there's anything that amazing about Star Wars. He's a Boba Fett ninja, and if Baby Yoda wasn't there, I don't think anyone would give a shit about the Mandalorian. Seriously. Going back here. Now, the 1 star, want my money back movie was horrible. Now, the 5 star, amazing visuals and conclusion to an amazing story, a must-see movie. Why is it that no one actually writes a detailed review of why it's good? Yet you'll find some 1-star reviews and 2-star reviews detailed of why it's bad. There's something in the middle. I don't like such bad reviews being associated with this movie. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a satisfactory send-off. And while I thought the climax was a bit over the top, and the film also undid some things from The Last Jedi, which I liked, I went in pessimistic after the poor early reactions and was blown away. I probably believe that's real. Visually amazing. It is visually amazing. I'll give it that much. Better story and dialogue than Last Jedi. It should have been split. Oh, I read that already. God, there's so just no one writes a real review. So I'm gonna say that most, like a lot of these reviews, that's good. It's all audience, or where are we on? Verified audience? All audience. Because I'd give this thing 2 stars, and that'd be a lot. Really, 1, 2 out of 10. I don't think 5 is a good. Lot of action. Ended the story saga in good way. Come on. Great movie if you're a 12-year-old, and coherent plots don't matter much. At that age, you're more concerned with sound effects, which this film was plenty of. And that's true. Maybe it's kids writing it. A must-see for true fans. We love it. Do you see how the bots could just write this for any movie? You could put that in any movie. Must-see for true fans. We loved it. That's not a review. That's a generic tagline for hire that you could throw in anywhere. Strangely enough, that person has a picture. Half a star. I find it hard to believe anything could be worse than Last Jedi. Disney found a way. Coming in from the chat. Let me take a look at the chat. It's just you, AJ, I guess, in the chat. I personally thought it was cool to see the Mandalorian and the new Star Wars crossover with Force. I think Force healing ruined everything. So I disagree with you. Force healing ruined everything. It should be removed. It should never have come, because in this movie, Force healing, there's no consequences, because Kylo dies about 5 times, and then Rey dies, but she doesn't, and it's like they might as well had Force healing sex. I killed, and then Rey kills Kylo. I mean, if you kill Kylo, he's dead. A lightsaber through the gut meant that your clothes drop and you're gone. And if you're Sith, you have no Force ghosts, and if you're Jedi, you get a Force ghost. That was it. And they couldn't fuck with real things. They couldn't catch lightsabers or daggers. Oh God. Oh my God. And did you notice that the Force healing came out that the night before or the night of the release, the pre-release? They said it was coming on the 20th, but it came out on the 19th of the Rise of Skywalker. The Rise of Skywalker. Rey is not a Skywalker. She's a Palpatine. She's a shitty character. And again, this is not against the actors. I don't hate the actors. I hate the characters, and I hate the story. It's shit. It's shit. Don't listen. Go and see this at Long John Silver's. Buy the fish platter, get some fish, and there's a Chinese woman in the back who will project. It may or may not be a copy or an original film. I don't know if she has the rights. I didn't ask her. I asked no questions. But she'll project it onto the dirty oil of the fish from Long John Silver's. And you can watch it there. And it's free. You just order a Hush Puppy. I thought the LGBT scene was going to be pulling thin, says AJ. I didn't pay attention to that lesbian kiss. And the LGBT thing gets longer. Like, there's so many letters of LGBTQI. I don't know. It's too much. I don't know. If your sex is an alphabet, that's fine with me, but just don't expect me to memorize it. So I think Disney might have manipulated this. I think they, as a matter of fact, I think they definitely did, because there's just too many verified ratings in one line. If you really love this movie, write about it or put up a video about it and explain why. And explain how your brain dead mind does not see the plot holes. The Emperor was dead. See how this movie just completely destroys the original trilogy. Luke and Darth Vader killed the Emperor. And Darth Vader was brought back to the good side. The Emperor burned. He's still got his robe. He's even got his robe on. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? They are. And I know, JJ, no one could have done anything because it was already so deep into a dog shit hole pile that you could only play with the doo-doo that you were in. There was no way to get out of this. The only way for this movie to have succeeded fully with the fans was for Luke to be the whole movie and just like kill everyone from anger. And then maybe break the fourth wall. Like Luke just slashes Rey. You're a Palpatine, I have to kill you. If he went after Ben Solo just because, he was thinking about it, then Luke should have killed Rey, right? Force Ghost Luke, somebody, you're the granddaughter of the Emperor. Killed her, cut her head off. I mean, we're talking heads beyond even Darth Vader death. Heads slicing down the side. The X that she made just goes through someone. Not, hey, look, I'm rubber, you're glyph, you put electricity on me, I bounce back to you, Emperor. Just slice everyone. But not Rey, Luke. And he kills Rey. He kills Poe. He kills Finn. He kills Kylo. And then the camera pans and you see the set and you see JJ going, Mark, we didn't. That's not in the script. And then he just slices JJ's head off. And then Kathleen Kennedy's behind and he goes, Mark, I am Luke the Force. He just slices her, and then he just kills the cast, and kills the crew, and kills everyone, and then he comes out, and they're on a Disney lot, and he goes to Galaxy's Edge, and anyone who's buying a stupid $200 fucking lightsaber, he kills them all, and he kills the Millennium Falcon, and he kills Galaxy's Edge, which has no original Star Wars characters. People go up to get autographs and he kills them and he sets entire Galaxy's Edge on fire, and anyone was buying the stupid droids, he kills them. He blows the whole thing up. Like I think that is the only thing, and maybe someone will make a parody of that. Maybe I will, I don't know, that would have satisfied people. Let's take a look at a site that other sites, Metacritic. And that's it. I should just end on that because that's funny. Now, it doesn't seem they were able to manipulate Metacritic because Metacritic, look at this. A 54. Critic score and a user score even lower, 5.0. Knives Out, Rian Johnson's other movie, got an 82. Rise of Skywalker on Metacritic, which is critics from all over the place and users from all over the place. It doesn't have that power structure. It's not owned by an ex-Disney staff member. 5. And this is out of 10. So they go from a 0 to 10 rating. You see it. That's it. All right, hopefully this uploads to YouTube. Please remember to hit the subscribe button. Only need a couple hundred more subscribers to be remonetized. Not that that really does anything. YouTube monetization is kind of crappy right now. But I've reached the amount of hours, 4,000 hours. Thank you for everyone who've been watching the last couple of videos. Thank you to the Patreon supporters. If you can, please join Patreon, whether it's $1 or $1,000,000 if you're Daddy Warbucks. Whatever you can do. If you can't do a monthly thing, paypal.me/blackout services. All the links are in my YouTube account. Trumpet Dental Pups on hold. But until next time, which will probably be very soon, I have a lot more to talk about, and I have to figure out this streaming thing and get it set up better with a better microphone. And actually, I would be normally shooting on this camera, but I'm shooting on a web camera, so that's why it looks so crappy. Rise of Skywalker. Does Disney fudge shit? Yeah, they do. See you later.